Welcome to Mariners TV. I'm Dominique Vasquez. During the duration of this program, we'll be going over events, sports, student works, and much more. With that being said, let's get started. The February 1st Thursday was a success. This exhibition, curated by Marymount professor Gary Martin, features artists who've had books published on their works. If you've missed the opening reception, be sure to join us for March 1st Thursday, featuring the same exhibit. With that, let's have a look at the highlights from the exhibition, The Art of Books, Bookworks, Artworks.
Well, we were looking for artists that had published books, so it's kind of a selective crowd. And because I'd been in the publishing business a little bit, I kind of knew how to find some of them, and we've got some pretty good people here.
This exhibit is more, I guess, open to people's interpretation, and we haven't really had a show with published artists before, like where they publish their own books and everything. And it's a lot of illustration and a lot of graphic design included in this show, which we haven't really had before. And another thing is it's curated by one of our professors here at Marymount, California University, Gary Martin, who's actually one of the reasons I really love design. He was one of my favorite teachers while I was studying here.
It's definitely, you see the one over here, the one like, yeah, I thought it was like an iris, but it's like, oh, it's an earth and there's a moon in the middle. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Yeah.
Definitely. I tried bringing people with me today, but they had other things to do, and I just try to make an effort to get down here because I like to come to the Klaus to get inspired. I bought some records, and I'm going to go home and make my own art, so yeah.
I think it's something that speaks to our generation too, because I don't know, it's just very eye-catching, and there's a lot of color involved, and it's mixing the digital medium along with the fine art medium, which I enjoy. It's, you know, kind of just, it's a mixed media bit of the two, and I enjoy that too.
Come to the Klaus. Yeah, come to the Klaus. Come to the Klaus. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Misha.
All right, cool.
Here at Marymount, our arts and media students work hard to create works for class, for fun, and for the community. Here we would like to showcase some of our students' short films. Enjoy.
Can we do this interview later? You canceled 10 times before this. No, we have to do this now. I have a deadline.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I'm a professional procrastinator. My parents knew from when I was a really young age that I was going to be a really good procrastinator.
Did you bring the photo I asked you to bring?
Being a professional procrastinator, you basically work hard to not really do anything. At first, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life, but by chance I saw this flyer, and it was advertising this competition for procrastinators, and I said, that's it. That's what I want to do. To get this good at what I do, I had to do nothing basically. And that took zero effort. I used to be really good at getting my work done, and then one day I was just like, I don't need to do this right now. I can wait. You know what I mean? Practice in high school a lot, and then the first competition for procrastination was freshman year of college, and I got second place, so that's really snazzy. Competed next year, got first place, and then the 5 years after that was all like win, 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 win. I got so good.
I only lost 1 year. The girl decided to show up literally 1 millisecond before the competition started, so they gave her the prize automatically. She ended up dying because she got such a tragic UTI because she procrastinated using the bathroom.
These are my trophies. I mean, they're not glamorous, but I worked really, really hard to get these, so I'm pretty proud of them. So this is my apartment. It's not much, but I mean... So basically, I'm gonna do some homework. This is my setup. I've got, some tabs open, and I've just got some YouTube videos, Twitter, Tumblr, of course, Amazon. I like to do some online shopping, and then my last tab is still like my homework, but I've got to go through all of these before I get to that. I've got some homework due, but it's not really any rush. It's due on the 30th at midnight, so I mean... I eventually had to give up competitions just because I was procrastinating literally every possible event I could procrastinate. I started procrastinating laundry, started procrastinating showering, started procrastinating work, school, eating. I didn't get to breathing yet. I'm not at that level yet, but we'll see. I am learning to get over it though. I started using online timers so that I don't use websites I shouldn't be using when I'm doing my work. I also started using a planner, so I mean, at least I've got that going for me. Along with the planner and the timer, I did eventually get to a place where my only other option was selling my soul to the devil. And it's really not that bad. I mean, the only drawback is that he uses my body as a vessel every now and then. This is like my life. Wow.
For real, me too. Like this is due tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding.
Alright, cookies. Oh.
Hey boy, what's wrong?
Oh man, I forgot. I'm allergic to chocolate.
Should we go to the hospital?
No, let's just sing a song about it.
Ever feed your puppy chocolate? It's bad for their tummy, can't you see?
Can't you see?
You wanna give them a treat, bananas or some meat, but never ever chocolate. Oh, never ever feed your puppy chocolate. Even if they wanted and they begged.
Oh, please give me chocolate, please.
Wanna give them a treat, peanut butter, cottage cheese, but never, ever, ever, ever chocolate. Don't you ever, 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 no, never, ever, 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 ever give your puppy chocolate.
It makes me barf. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Daniel Kim. I'm from Apple Valley, California, originally from Seoul, South Korea, and for my impression I do Vietnam War, 5th Division, 3rd Corps of the Army of North Vietnam, basically last defense of Saigon. Impressions and reenacting, it's a way to almost appreciate the history that you can almost be a part of. Most people would think it's just to play soldier, pretend, but really what it is you're living the history of the time. Whether it be the bad parts or the good parts, it's almost like always acting in a way. It's also an appreciation for those who fought or put down their lives in the past. You show that it's not forgotten, and that instead of just forgetting about it or just talking about it on the side, we actually physically reenact it and we live it to show our respect. For gatherings, there's a lot of types out there, like whether it be for like in dedication to veterans who fought in Vietnam, for veterans who fought in the Iraq War, currently in the War on Terror, or just basic fundraisers, or designated events. Like that's what you would usually go to, and that's what typically exists. Or you can go to other airsofting events that are specifically have requirements for era-correct clothing, whether it be for Vietnam, World War II, Spanish Civil War, Iraqi freedom, earlier Iraqi wars, things like that. Typically, these are typically weekend things, which is why a lot of people who do this get the name Weekend Warrior, because of course we're not really going out there fighting wars, we're just going out there in our free time and just dressing up like soldiers and pretending to be all tough. And for what goes on in them, it's really different. It depends on which meeting you're going to. If you're going to a Vietnam War reenactment, we would do our best to live it like it happened. We would all be pitching tents together, the actual military grade tents, the big ones that could fit tanks and jeeps inside them. We'd be bringing out old MREs and C rations, the ones that you pop open with a can, not a regular can opener, but like a P38, which is like a really tiny can opener that you can fit in your wallet. They're really useful. Listening to era-correct music, but not even through our iPhones or something. We'd bringing out old radios. We'd sit around a campfire, tell little fake stories about going back to the States or something like that. Talk about fake ball games that are happening at the time. Anything that really immerses us in the situation, I suppose. We'd even have little emergency situations where someone in the forest, that's part of the event, would shoot a flare into the air and we'd all get down or something like that. If I explain it, it sounds ridiculous, but in the situation when you're actually living it, you feel it. Like, you tell yourself that it's not just like, I'm not playing pretend, or I'm not being a weekend warrior. Like, you hypnotize yourself into thinking, wow, this is happening. But then after you're done, everyone comes out of the forest like, oh, hey, good job, that was fun. And then we just go to our bunks and go to bed. I'd say a favorite memory I'd have from reenacting, it wasn't when I was in my Vietnam War uniform. I was borrowing my friend's World War II officers' dress uniforms, and then we went to an event called the Battle of Los Angeles, or something along the lines of that, I don't quite remember, which is a reenactment of the real Battle of Los Angeles that happened during World War II, in which U.S. soldiers thought they were Japanese bombers in the skies of Los Angeles. Like, it was really immersive. Like, we'd have old bands playing like swing and a bit of rockabilly. Everyone was in aircraft clothing. We'd see sailors, we see Marines. And at the end of the night, we'd get these big old anti-aircraft guns that would fire blanks into the air and then they shoot fireworks. And it was both terrifying yet amazing, because hearing those large like AA guns shooting right next to you, shooting those big 20mm rounds, but also seeing the bright flashes of the fireworks, it was a great experience. I guess I'll show some of my gear. This is an early war, this is a late war, and this is a late war M1C helmet. Original cover, reproduction of course, not original, but made to look original. I did a couple of graffiti myself. For those who watch Full Metal Jacket, you might recognize that. Basic Zippo. This black band, most people don't know, is a tire, actually, that Marines would snip up, and they'd wrap them around their helmets compared to the old helmet bands that they used to use, because those helmet bands tend to get stretched out too easily, and these grab things better, like my lady right here. And for fire, should I go through firearms? And for what I use to reenact it would be this. It's called the M3 grease gun, but this is obviously airsoft due to the orange tip. So it's actually the ICS M3 grease gun. And it's fairly hefty, full steel construction. Basically, whenever you're reenacting, you want to get something that's as close to the real deal as possible. I use this for whenever I'm out on the field. It's very heavy, but it gets the job done and it looks correct. Some impressions that I'd like to do in the future would be 101st and 82nd Airborne Division. That's a World War II division. Those are paratroopers. I'd like to do U.S. Marines, Iwo Jima, maybe Guadalcanal. I was actually interested in Civil War for a while, like Union Trooper, but it's very difficult to find a hat in my size for that kind of impression. World War I would be great, but those uniforms are incredibly expensive to find. Like a doughboy impression, which is the basic U.S. foot soldier during World War I, those are very expensive, like past $2,000, $3,000. Even this impression alone probably costs $600 altogether to find everything. But yeah, those are some I'd like to do in the future. Maybe even more recent wars like Iraqi Freedom or Desert Storm, which is around the 90s, which isn't too recent, but it's fairly recent considering what I do. So yeah. What I would tell someone who's interested in getting into reenactments would be do your research first. Movies are great, they're fun and entertaining, but you should actually go out and search for these sites that tell you the correct things. Because spitballing from a movie, that can only get you so far, but you really want to look into it, I guess. Find groups and find people who are also interested in this, because if you don't, then this is a very lonely hobby, I'm not gonna lie. Unless you have friends who do it. If you have friends who do it, then perfect, then you can go out on weekend missions or even go airsofting together in uniform, and it's fun. So yeah, just know what you're getting into. I'm not trying to make it sound bad or anything, but just have fun with it, I suppose. Just do your research. If you really want to get into this, then like put a bit of yourself into it. It's a bit of a big hobby. You'll be going out to antique stores and looking for specific things. You're gonna be asking a lot of questions. Basically, it'll make you look like a huge nerd, but that's the fun part. The fun part is going out and asking for the specific thing, or making sure this is right or this is wrong. So get dedicated, have fun with it.
Thanks for watching Mariners TV. I'm Dominique Vasquez, and we hope to see you next time.